All right, turning now to the war in Ukraine. The Russian government says it's sending a delegation for a second round of possible peace talks with Ukraine, even as Russian forces intensify their attacks on civilian and government targets. A majority of the people escaping Ukraine have gone to Poland. ABC's Marcus Moore reports that refugees are seeking help at train stations.
A majority of the refugees coming from Ukraine are coming into Poland here, where there's an army of volunteers arriving with food, medicine, and clothing to help them as they flee the war in Ukraine. And this is an effort that has been happening across the region here. And you can see all of the people here ready to help, and the food that is also on the site here. A shelter has been set up for those families, and many of them tell us that it took them days to just get across the border. Officials have said that they have opened up additional pedestrian routes to ease the congestion, but it is still a very hard journey. And we're also hearing reports that there has been discrimination targeted at African and other people of color who were leaving Ukraine. The United Nations Refugee Agency has confirmed those reports and has condemned what's been happening. But it does give you a sense of the many layers of this humanitarian crisis as people flee Ukraine because of war. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Przemyśl, Poland.
And a team from Operation Blessing is set to leave Norfolk International Airport today to provide help at the Polish-Ukrainian border. The Virginia Beach-based organization plans to give out hot meals and relief supplies to more than 350,000 refugees in Poland. Operation Blessing also plans to set up medical clinics near the border.
Portsmouth-based Mercy Chef says partners are on the ground now, taking care of Ukrainians across the border into Romania. They've got emergency food and packets on hand. Mercy Chef says it'll assess long-term needs by establishing a field kitchen to provide those refugees with hot meals and supplies.
We're going to be taking care of the refugees that are pouring in from Ukraine right now. They're coming into Romania, and they have been sitting in car lines for over 52 hours. They're arriving with no food, no water, no diapers, no sanitary supplies. So Mercy Chef's first step is going to be to acquire that.
That was the group's founder, Gary LeBlanc. He says they'll be in Romania for now, but they could move to Poland or other countries in the future.
Happening today, Old Dominion University will hold two events to show solidarity with Ukraine. It starts with a virtual discussion on the Russia-Ukraine conflict in just 30 minutes. Later this evening, the university will hold a vigil at Kaufman Mall. That starts at 5:30.